Okay, so this is Rise of the Tomb Raider. I think we'll just start.
Are you ready?
Yes. Who's gonna start the timer? I'm just gonna do it. Okay, I'll just do it. Countdown. 3, 2, 1, go.
Alrighty. My side is Leemyy.
O que faz
And I'm
com que
MrTau.
alguém busque algo além das fronteiras da experiência?
And this indeed is Rise of the Tomb Raider. Damn, you're behind.
A trilha sobe a montanha.
Am I?
Nós teremos
So,
uma boa visão do vale lá do
Right
topo.
off the bat, here in the intro, you're gonna get a checkpoint where Lara's grabbing the ledge and quit out the main menu and then load back in. And while loading back in, we do a roll which enables us to
Mas eu
basically
tenho uma
walk
boa
through the air
sensação dessa vez.
through speedrun magic. But you're gonna see that in a moment.
Merda! Eu pisei em
Otherwise, there's a
Mas
lot
eu
of
tô
pressing
bem.
W in these segments, so I'm glad we can skip them.
Yeah, this part is pretty boring, speedrun-wise. And you probably wouldn't enjoy watching it either. It's just like a lot of climbing, nothing really to it.
Oh, I got it.
And what language are you guys playing in?
We're playing on Portuguese,
Yep,
which is
okay.
like definitely the fastest language. There's no language faster than
Yeah.
Portuguese. That
Yeah.
doesn't exist.
I know for a while we
Definitely not
were
German.
trying French. So right where Tau just was, if you went too far, you could go back inbounds, which would have been bad. You have to like either keep going as intended or start over.
Yeah, then another speed method we use a lot in this segment is AX climbing. You basically press E and jump. Climb surfaces like this. Or also these huge walls here.
Yeah, just for reference, the reason why it's called AX climbing is because on Xbox, which the game was originally released for, you had to press those two buttons to get it.
And it sounds kind of like AX climbing.
Yeah, and Lara's taking out her axe, so we just stuck with it.
There's a possibility for the game crashing here, and it did not.
Yay!
It might for me though, so
All right, let's see.
hold your horses. It didn't for me either, so that's good.
Awesome. No
Dang.
crashing.
Very schön klar. And yeah.
Jona, rápido! Me balança pro outro lado!
So right here, what we're both doing is just like timing our forwards and backwards input, so we can get this in 2 cycles on like the first attempt, and there's like this short cutscene. And then the second attempt, it's very easy to get this in 2 cycles. The first one isn't too difficult either. It's just something that you're probably not gonna get casually, unless you're like pressing back whilst the cutscene is still playing.
Yeah, obviously the mounts in this game are very, very good.
Volta, Jona! Vai pro abrigo!
And the rest basically is just...
Oh, nice. Yeah, sometimes that happens where Lara just lets, like, she climbs up and then she just falls down because the game is like, nah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I died. Lara was like, yeah, don't want to jump there.
Sometimes she just doesn't want to grab anything.
Yeah, the grabbing in this game is kind of weird.
That's fine. Don't have to reset, still world record pace.
So
Yeah.
right there, Leemyy ignored the game prompt and just slid to the left to grab the ice wall instead of grabbing the edge.
Yeah, that's like, it's like 2 seconds faster and it's really easy to do, so we just do that like every time. You can probably get it first try casually, it's that easy.
Righty.
So right here there's just 3 cutscenes that we have to skip one after the other because one cutscene isn't enough. Also, like the game tells you to press space to skip cutscenes, but if you actually mash space to get this prompt to appear, then sometimes it'll just fake you out and disappear again. So what we do instead is we just mash any of the other buttons. It doesn't really matter which, as long as we don't mash space to get it to appear. We actually have to press space to skip the cutscenes, but mashing it just takes longer because this is a good game. So Tao and I have just both reached the beginning of Sera. Sera used to be this very boring part of the speedrun, where we were really hoping for like any kind of skip, but we didn't find anything for the longest time. We found a few potential things, but nothing that actually worked out.
I think we found one skip that took as long as playing the game intentionally, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, there's
That
like
was a really long time ago.
there's one that you can do which is like very convoluted. And like in order to make it, like you can actually make it work too, but in order to make it work, you would actually have to like backtrack, and at that point you would be losing time. Yeah, there's still some slow walking left. Like in the beginning, the game naturally just kind of wants to tell you about all the mechanics.
There's like 2 parts in the run where you really have to do a lot of walking. One is right after Sera, and one is the beginning of Sera. But apart from that, after that, it's basically skip after skip.
Yeah, if you like Out of Bounds, you'll probably like this speedrun because
Oh yeah.
we don't get to see much of the inbounds areas. It's like we don't like those.
Goals is long.
Incrível. Quem dera o papai pudesse ver isso.
So while I'm doing this, I can just kind of explain the climbing controls in this game are really awkward. Like they were awkward in the previous game and they didn't fix them for this game because why would they? They actually have a like half-second input delay. So if you press space and you were pressing like to a side before that, it'll still jump to the side even if you don't mean to. And I just failed a skip there. That's really easy because I pressed E for some reason.
I don't know how many times I, jumped to my death because of that input where I was holding left or right and I wanted to go up or vice versa.
Yeah, this is actually a really easy skip. So what we're doing here is, it might not look like a skip, but we're actually skipping a cutscene trigger by jumping low there and grabbing the ledge instead of jumping onto the platform directly. That it only saves like 5 seconds, but it's still worthwhile doing it. And despite me failing it right there, it's actually a very safe skip. I haven't failed it in a long time.
It happens once in a while. And hopefully one of us will get a flying scorpion.
Yeah, this cave, there's scorpions in here, and they do not adhere to the laws of physics at all. They shrink all over the place. Sometimes they start flying. But other than that, there's nothing to do in here.
The hardest part, holding
You press forward
W.
and shake your camera.
Oh,
That's
I
what
actually
you
had
do.
a flying scorpion right there. It was like right in the middle of the screen.
If you have nothing to do, can we squeeze in a few donations?
Sure.
Yeah. Maybe
Okay.
one.
We got $5 from Alberto Barbosa saying, "Hey, watching the marathon with a friend's wife, having a lot of fun so far. Keep it up, great cause."
Okay, so right here we're going to do an out of bounds. For the longest time, we've known about this out of bounds for quite a long time. I just failed there. But it's actually like, oh wow, it's looking weird. Okay, nope, I'm still not fine. Tao already got it.
Yeah, I got it.
I'm like, okay, it does not like me right now.
A lot of the out of bounds, getting out of bounds works really similar to the way they just did it.
Okay, if I can't even get out of this trap, I'll just shoot it and go do the normal way because for some reason I just got
stress.
stuck there.
It's really fucking precise.
Yeah, it actually took, like, we knew about that out of bounds for the longest, for a very long time, but we, like, oh, come on. I haven't done this in a while. Usually just do the out of bounds.
You get to show off the... I'm trying to remember where.
Oh my god,
where
I'm
one
not
is.
even swimming the right way.
Right now. Oh, I was. But
Yeah, this,
I failed the gold jump.
damn it.
You
Maybe,
you show them.
yeah, I'll try to show them. There's like a jump you can do there. You only get one shot at it. At least if you don't want to lose time, you're only gonna get one shot. So like right on my screen, we can clearly see like what we're usually skipping. Tau went inbounds right at the end of this flooded tunnel. Just that it wasn't flooded for him because he skipped the trigger that flooded. But yeah, that out of bounds saves about 20 seconds if you get it all right. And it's actually not that hard. I just like...
Also skipping another puzzle by climbing this wall. And jumping over here.
So yeah, right here is the so-called Sugoi jump is coming up.
Yeah.
And I got it. This is like a very weird jump. You can only
Yeah.
like get it in that specific spot. Like that's the only place in the game where you can actually get a booster jump like that. And we like have some rough ideas why it might happen, but we don't really know why. It has something to do with when you jump though.
Also, this is not intended. I just jump around the area. And if you're not fast enough with that, you die. Like, waste half a second, you die.
Yeah, that skip is very... it's very punishing. Like, if you get stuck anywhere at all, you just die.
But it saves 10 seconds.
Yeah, you
Huge.
gotta do it. Oh, wow. Forgetting all the inputs. This is great. Don't worry, I'm still on world record pace. It's fine.
Yeah.
And I also got it.
Nice.
Okay.
So, I'm in a very fun walking bit, where you
Oh.
walk through deep snow. So if you have any donations or anything,
Yeah, we have like 5 donations, and the first one is from Jazz. He says, "Oi, it's Jazz here. First time donating to a marathon, but had to give a shout out to my boy Leemyy. Looking forward to balance later tomorrow. Good luck, lads."
Thank you, Jesus.
We get $2 from Anonymous saying, fiber here. Just wanted to say that people with cheat live in a crazy world in which they do whatever the heck they want. For all I know, or I'm concerned with, everything I see in this run is false.
Hey, we're not cheating. This is all developer intended. What are you talking about?
We have $10 from Asimir. Good luck on the Lara Croft race, you beautiful geese. Go, use the lines.
dang it.
$5 by Anonymous saying, Tau, do you want to tell us about how fast German is in this game?
No, German is the slowest language. Don't listen to him.
Finally, you get $15 from Arborism saying, good luck with the race, Mr. Tau. Arbo and Kamal wishing you the best of luck.
Thanks.
Vamos lá. Você consegue. Anda.
So, bit of more walking. Always fun pressing W. There's another thing here. Actually, sometime in between Syria and this area, there is a random change in XP you have,
Certo.
and determining how much you get, you're gonna get a level up without standing up from this fire or not, which is like very fun.
Sometimes you can even have so little XP that you don't get a level up at all, which
Yeah.
is very bad.
Yeah, that wastes like 15 seconds.
Pode funcionar. Não é o suficiente.
Did not get a level
Pra
up.
noite toda. Eu preciso juntar mais.
And I did not get a level up at all, so
Not even
yeah,
after standing up.
that's bad.
Yeah, that's. So I'm coming up on it as well, but since I'm not doing anything right now, I'll explain why that is bad. So the reason we need that level up is so we get a skill point, and we wanna get one specific skill which lets us roll after a jump. And the reason why we want that is it's used both for a few clips that are coming up, even though Tau is gonna get that skill before those clips, most likely.
Que saco.
And also, it's just the fastest form of movement in the game. Like, as soon as I get it, hopefully, you'll see me doing it all the time. Like, every time you're just moving on an even surface or uphill, jumping and rolling is the fastest way to move.
Vou precisar de
Okay, I didn't get the level up right away as well. But I did get it after standing up from the campfire, as Tau said earlier. So now I have to be careful to actually put it into the right skill. Otherwise, I'll just lose even more time than Tau, because at least he's close to leveling up. But yeah, right here, from now on, I'll just do this all the time.
Oh no.
essas ruínas. São mongóis.
So I'm gonna get the level up at the next campfire
Eles estão aqui.
after another small skip here. So right here the game actually wants you to learn how to heal and wants you to pick up these healing leaves. But if you don't pick any of them up and basically are at 0 healing leaves, it's gonna give you one. It's very nice. It's like made by the devs like that to prevent people from soft blocking, because they lock Lara in a position where you heal. Nice to ask, because not picking up stuff is fast. Right after doing this, I'm gonna go up against the wall, face it backwards while aiming and back scramble. And by doing that, I'm able to go up the wall. Yes, hopefully.
Yeah, this game has some weird physics behavior. For some reason, if you aim, the size of your hitbox changes. Incidentally, when you land, the size of your hitbox also changes. Like, if you land, like, the few frames where Lara is actually, like, ducking after the jump, her hitbox actually gets smaller. And, like, the same way, as long as you aim, your hitbox is larger. And so we kind of abuse that to just collide with the wall in a weird way, and then the game's physics engine doesn't really know what to do. And in some cases it shoots you up, in some cases it just pushes you through the wall. In most of the time, the walls actually hold up. So most of the walls in this game aren't actually as broken as we might make it look. But like some of them, like this particular one, are definitely a bit broken. You just have to get into the right position.
And I just did something called a skywalk, but I guess we're gonna explain it later.
Yeah, this one is very short, so there's a longer one coming up later, so we'll explain then.
You can better see what I'm actually doing.
What I do also want to explain, Tau did earlier and Leemyy is about to do it, is they're backtracking right where Lemmy's doing right now. That's to load the rest of the next level, right?
Yeah,
The
exactly.
checkpoint.
You can see on the top of my screen right now that there's a pop-up. It's giving me the next objective, and if you don't get that, the next area won't load properly, and we can't progress the game.
Also, Tau realized there's no glass in that window.
Yeah. Just gotta roll and jump. That's how it works, right?
Yeah, glass isn't actually solid if you roll. Take note of that, people. Damn.
Also, doors don't exist.
Yeah.
No doors are a myth.
So this is actually the new skip in the game. Right here I have to reload, and Leemyy has to not forget it.
Yeah, I do.
And by reloading there, basically I make an invisible wall disappear, which makes me able to go out of the level in a moment. Also jumping through this fence, because why not?
So yeah, you'll see us reloading like reloading checkpoints quite a lot in this run. Half the time it's just to either make the game load something that's not yet loaded because we skipped triggers, or it is to or it is to unload invisible walls that prevent us from clipping out of bounds. Don't ask me why it works, it just does.
Also shouts out to Ades for finally finding somewhat of a bridge skill.
Yeah, we were looking at that bridge like for the longest time. We were trying to get across it because it's like so tantalizingly close to being able to cross it, but we were never able to find anything, and then Ades just figured out that you can just go under it, which is like the next best thing, really.
And also back scrambling is like the most common.
And I forgot to
method
reload
of
the
clipping.
checkpoint, so right now I have to just.
Damn it, Lemon.
I'm sorry, I'm just not used to it. Like the skip is too new. It's all Ades' fault.
But I was about to say, back scrambling is like the most common way to clip things.
Yeah.
Clips through doors, etc. and walls. But actually in prison right here, we can't back scramble in the scene. We still want to clip out of bounds though. So what we do instead is press double aim, like really quick in succession,
Shit!
which pushes
Damn it.
Lara back. Did you fail?
Yeah. Kinda. There's a death plane right there that we have to maneuver around.
Bunnies.
I'm not supposed to hit that death plane if you didn't figure it yourself. But I was too high up. I'm just gonna take it a bit safer now and like actually drop all the way down. Like this. Like Lara still makes a noise as if she dies, but she doesn't actually die. So it's fine.
Can't really blame you though. That's like it's there for like a week now.
Yeah, it's like the newest skip that actually has any sort of difficulty
Oh
to
damn!
it. And I'm very used to another skip.
So Tau just kind of like teleported himself up to the second floor, so we skipped a long walking scene.
Also reloading here to be able to roll again.
Yeah, whilst you're in that prison cell, your movement is kind of limited, and the game doesn't give you back your movement if you just break out of it like we do. So after you get that checkpoint, we just reload checkpoint, because then the game thinks that we got out of the cell normally and gives us our movement back.
Another thing in the speedrun, we skip like most weapons. Like down there would be the machine gun and also some cans, which Lara looks at, picks up, and after she looked at it, she's like, yeah, I can make explosives using like tin cans. Obviously, I'm MacGyver.
It's confirmed, guys. You heard it here first. Lara officially MacGyver. But yeah, if you like even the craftable things in this game, there's like some weapons that you can only craft. Like if you never trigger the cutscene that teaches you how to craft those, you just won't be able to craft them ever. And those cans that Tau has just skipped and I'm gonna skip coming up are actually not that useful throughout most of the run, but they are very useful for the final fight. And since we skipped them, we'll have to do something which is a bit more complicated, and the boss can kind of troll you if he's not feeling like being nice. So let's hope we just get it.
Also the clip Lemon just did is like one of the hardest skips in the game.
Yeah.
Super precise.
Yeah, you have to time like 3 different inputs. It's not frame perfect, but you have to time them within like a 1/10 of a second of each other. It's pretty rough. Beginners usually have a lot of trouble learning that skip. It's not uncommon for people to try it like 100 times without getting it.
I'm also not sure if I didn't get it because I was trying it with a controller instead of a keyboard and mouse.
I mean, that's like just limiting yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't try to play this game on a controller if you have the option, people.
To be fair, I did do that for a while. Learning how to skywalk was quite a feat.
got time for a few donations?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Okay, we have a $10 donation from Fonia. He says, this donation thing is great. A great way to combine a great cause with a way to participate in such a cool event without even being there. Best of luck to both of you. And Leemyy, don't forget to invent a catchy catchphrase.
Thank you, Funny.
Thank you.
And we actually got another donation by Masugun in 1912. $20. Thank you, GL on the Run, Leemyy, and MrTau for the Children Award.
Cuidado!
So yeah. It's basically the Michael Bay section of the run.
Yeah,
They kind of overdo it a bit.
a bit. We have actually developed a theory, like why everything around Lara seems to collapse. It's probably because space-time actually warps around her. It's the most likely explanation. I
Obviously.
mean, I'm not a scientist, but it's true.
Alright. This is the long skywalking part that you guys were talking about, right? Do you
Yeah,
want to
exactly.
get started on that? Or?
So yeah, I mean, I can do that whilst I'm doing this, unless you want to, Tao.
Go ahead.
So what a skywalk is, it's basically there's different types of surfaces in the game. One of them you just slide off of. You don't there's no sliding animation. It just pushes you off. It's very different. There's one type of surface where you actually go into a sliding animation, but this one it just pushes you off normally. But if you tap backwards twice whilst Lara is sliding off of it, for some reason she stops sliding down, and then if you hold up and left or up and right, you can actually kind of control where you're going with it. Also, I just blanked out there. I rolled where I wasn't supposed to, and I landed in the water.
Dang.
Oh, I've done that before.
Another thing is because we do the prison escape clip, we use our pistol, but right here we get it back by just bring a different pistol. Then I get an invisible wall because it didn't reload me.
Yeah, I was gonna say you.
Yeah, normally I reload every time here just to get rid of the wall, but it's not guaranteed for it to be there. Yeah.
Jacob.
And now
Você está
Tao's
aí?
about to skip a very, very long walking scene.
Droga. Cadê?
Right here we go out of bounds and get near inbounds just to load in this area completely. As soon as the text appears, it's loaded in and it should be fine. And now I have to walk very, very carefully alongside it. If I get inbounds, I have to redo everything because there's invisible walls everywhere, which usually Jacob is supposed to remove, by walking through. Can't even see it if playing casually, but yeah, since you do this skip, I should not get inbounds ever. It's basically rip run otherwise.
Yeah, you just get trapped between invisible walls if you get inbound there. Because you're supposed to follow an NPC and you're not supposed to overtake it, so the developers just put invisible walls everywhere where you might overtake that NPC. And they only remove them after the NPC has passed them. And since the NPC never passes them, because we do that skip, we have to go around them.
Oh fuck. Okay, got the one shot on the second try.
Oh.
We one shot this one NPC which is armored by a very precise shot basically, with a very precise setup. It's all about timing.
Yeah, usually you can't, like, if you're in stealth in this game has a stealth mechanic where when you're in stealth and you shoot an enemy anywhere except for the legs or like the hip area, it will actually die in one shot, unless there's armor on that part of its body. So if you just distract that enemy by shooting that arrow into the wall, and then you shoot him in the shoulder where he happens to not be armored, he actually dies in one shot.
And also this area, basically skip all of it by doing one clip up a wall. Just coming right up for me. Get it? Sometimes it's a little bit cold.
Yeah, sometimes it almost like pulls you right back down, right when you get up there, so sometimes you have to kind of fight to stay up there.
Finally up here. This basically skips all the puzzles in the run. And there's another small skip, but if I got it perfectly, it would save 8 seconds here. And I'm not doing it because I'm a fucking peach.
I mean, I'm behind, so I'm probably just gonna attempt it and risk losing time. The reason why Tau doesn't want to attempt it is it actually loses 30 seconds if you don't get it.
Also, I'm bad at it.
Yeah, that too.
Like that too.
Yeah, I'm just having trouble killing this enemy. I missed like the right spot on his shoulder by like an inch, and then he realized that I was there, and I'm not good at aiming, so shooting him whilst he's moving is just not my thing.
Yeah, family friendly, very much.
Merda. E agora?
My apologies.
Isso vai servir.
So part of the puzzle that Tau skipped involved opening the doors that he's heading towards, but since he skipped all that, it does show it in the cutscene here that it's open. Or we could just fly through the door because they don't exist.
Yeah.
Será que é parte da cidade perdida?
Yeah, during this run the game sometimes gets very confused as to what is happening,
Essas ruínas.
and so it just like makes weird things happen. Also, because I had trouble killing that one guy earlier, I actually lost all my arrows, which is not necessarily, like, it doesn't necessarily lose me any time, because I don't actually need any more arrows past this point. But if I try to aim and I'm not aiming at a rope wall, I'll actually, like, Lara will actually have an animation where she reaches for her quiver, then realizes she doesn't have an arrow, and that's very slow. Also, I just failed that skip, which is just great.
Shouldn't have done it.
No.
I'm usually good at it. I'm sorry. Usually.
What I just did was a very precise clip out of bounds. It's basically, if you're 1 millimeter to the side, it won't work.
And now Laura's gonna be invisible for a while. She's gonna appear back and forth.
Parts of this area are not properly loaded in, so we can just pass them.
So yeah, I'm
Where
just
we
gonna
normally
skip
couldn't.
this now.
And this part skips so much stuff. It's pretty great. But we still have to backtrack a bit.
Yeah, actually what Tau did just there, we technically have an alternative for that, but that's like the fastest way to get to that campfire, and we need to get to that campfire in order to then go into one of the much later areas of the game backwards, because there just happens to be a conveniently placed trigger like halfway through the area, which just enables the end of the game. It doesn't quite enable it, but it enables like everything past it. So we just have to kind of make our way backwards through that area, which is not really intended to be possible with the amount of equipment that we have, but we'll make it work.
Also, I just looted 2 trees there because I want extra arrows. Safety. There's like not a lot of stuff I can do in a marathon here to go safe with this game. But like getting extra resources like extra healing and extra ammo is like one of the things I'm gonna do.
So to backtrack, we're just gonna swim out of bounds until we get back in bounds.
Yeah, the reason Tau has, like, you might be wondering why Tau is not just diving through that section, since you can dive through there, but that's actually a part of the game where you're required to have equipment that you get later on, the rebreather. And if you don't have that, Lara can actually only hold her breath for like 10 seconds.
Dang, being exposed to barely speaking. While I'm just not being rude and
I don't know why I'm
talking over you.
trying to re-aim right here.
But yeah, so you have to do this puzzle in here to basically make the rest of the game properly load. Otherwise we could just go on. But because of that I have to backtrack in here, do the barrel puzzle, make the statue fall. And actually what I'm gonna do there is in the end I'm gonna get to the campfire and shoot the last barrel right next to it. And while the cutscene loads, I'm gonna spam E, which in a right moment makes Lara sit down at the campfire. So after that she's gonna be at the campfire and running away from Deathless at the same time. And then by pressing escape, I'm gonna cancel sitting at the campfire, getting a checkpoint from that and reloading the checkpoint immediately.
Yeah, and the reason why Tau has to do that, instead of just leaving the intended way, is that to leave the intended way, you need some equipment that, again, we don't have because we skipped it.
And barrel memes are like the worst thing ever in this game. These barrels shoot out of the dispensers at like random speed and velocity. And also the direction is like slightly different every time. So either they go into the perfect position or they totally troll you. Looks kinda decent, but I attached the rope twice to the same barrel, which is like not optimal. But yeah, still decent. That one barrel is swinging a little bit more than I would like it to. So let's just go over here. Take that pistol ammo. And oh
no.
oh no, barrel! Don't you do this? You go over there.
Right there, Tau actually shot the first barrel whilst the second barrel was moving through the water. That's like that's a slight optimization we do, because the second barrel will actually still be pushed by the water whilst the cutscene is playing, so that way you don't have to wait for it. You can actually also reload your gun whilst that cutscene is playing. It doesn't work during all cutscenes, but it works during that particular one. Also, I don't know why I'm doing all this shit.
And right now I'm spamming E. Sit down at the campfire like a...
So we used to originally just play through this part normally, but you just sit at the fireplace when you trigger.
Just gonna show a bit of this cutscene.
Yep.
Actually show where I am.
Then we don't have
Now
to
I'm up
worry
here
about it.
and also down there. And now reloading the checkpoint. And if you don't do that right, you get soft locked here because we don't have the climbing axe right now. Well, not the climbing axe, the rope axe.
The grapple.
Yeah, the game calls it the wire spool, but that's not very, like, that doesn't tell anybody anything who hasn't played the game, so we like to call it the grapple, so people actually know what we're talking about.
And now I'm gonna go back out of here again. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Didn't wanna scramble jump there.
Lara does that sometimes. She just doesn't want to grab it.
Yeah, I have to scramble jump here in case to actually be able to grab the ledge, because we are supposed to have the grapple here. And now clipping out of bounds again. All the out of bounds.
Do we have time for a quick donation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
$20 by the Artistic Ballistic. Good luck with the run, Lemon and Tau. And in case something goes wrong, just remember, it's Lara's fault. Always.
Yeah, always.
Thanks, Artistic.
He couldn't do anything wrong, right?
Depois volto pra cá.
Damn. The barrel is kind of swinging very wildly for me right now, so I'm just gonna shoot the first barrel because it can also like calm down during the cutscene. So now it's actually gonna be rather still.
Also, right here you can just swim out of bounds,
Preciso
basically.
derrubar os suportes restantes.
In fact, you
It's
can.
that easy to get out of bounds.
down.
Just jump somewhere and swim.
Rocks are not real.
Nothing is real.
Always press Umschalt, praise Umschalt.
Yeah, see, rocks aren't.
So the reason why those rocks that Tau just went through weren't like as solid as you might expect them to be is that they are actually out of bounds. Even though it might have not have looked like it, he was actually still out of bounds there. There's an invisible wall that's supposed to stop you from even reaching those rocks. But there's actually a hole in the invisible wall that we can just swim through because apparently mapping is hard.
And now he's exiting the way he came in.
Yeah.
So we're done backtracking. And now to move on.
And because we don't have to grapple axe here, gotta clip up these rocks. Which, okay. It's sometimes a little bit hard. Oh, no.
The rock doesn't exist.
Yeah, the rock doesn't exist. I fell through it. Yeah, this is my least favorite clip, really.
Yeah, I don't like it much. Well, at least on controller.
Always using this excuse. And a lot of cutscenes. And obviously mountains.
Yes, lots of mountains.
Gotta look at them. Look at those mountains. Like, mountainy.
So the reason why Tau is waiting there is because this cutscene actually has, like, the cutscene is a not very well hidden loading screen, and you actually have to wait for the game to load in an entire area before you can skip the cutscene.
And here you're supposed to get climbing arrows, but we already have them. So just climb that wall and go on. Also gotta love the popping trees that pop in and out. I mean, those are great.
That's not even us glitching, that's just the developers not being able to make their map properly.
And in case you're wondering why the game actually doesn't look that good, it's because we gotta run at averagely high frame rates. We gotta run at like 100 FPS at all time. And to do that, this game requires like a lot of processing power.
Yeah, like in most places you can probably reach 100 FPS without too good of a PC or at like actually pretty graphic settings. But since we want to have 100 FPS even at like the most demanding areas, we just kind of
Yeah, some areas are less well optimized. And right here I just skilled the second time in the run and the last time, where I basically just get some skills that make Lara take more bullets, and one that makes us able to craft a bomb out of a canister, which is used one time in the upcoming fight.
but that one use is very worth it.
Yeah.
And Tau skipped most of the last snow walking area with the roll that they got with the skill, where they can roll after a jump. So that saves some time.
Right here I clip Lara up in the ceiling, but the camera is still under here, which you
that's
can
my
see by me
favorite.
aiming. And I gotta get the camera up there as well, so I'm gonna roll at this opening and make the camera and Lara once again. If I was to jump up on that ceiling, it would pull Lara towards the camera and down.
Jonah, Aguente firme. Sofia, você
So-
tá aí?
He's skipping an area that we used to have a back
Sim, eu tô
scramble
na
clip
antiga usina de
that was
cobre, de frente pro
incredibly
Woodland.
difficult and didn't
Estou
work all the
prestes a ir
time.
atrás do Jonah.
So when we finally figured out how to walk through the woods without dying, because there are death planes randomly, this way
Trees.
became a lot
Lots
more
of
fun.
trees.
Yeah.
Vejo você, produção.
Yeah, also those trees are like, when you learn this skip for the first time, this is probably the hardest skip to just learn the route for. It's not
Yeah.
it's not the hardest to execute,
No.
but it's the hardest to learn the route for because those trees are like
Yeah.
the bane of everybody's existence. Like even I sometimes get lost in those woods. Just they are like that dense.
You're the one that found it, right?
Yes, I was.
What I did was I watched this, like, watched your video like a million times, and I took notes like this weird shaped rock and that weird shaped rock, and eventually made it work.
Yeah, there's some things there that actually are unique. So you don't like except for a very few places where the trees are so dense that you can't see further than like a meter. You actually won't get lost if you pay attention to the right details.
Here I gotta jump on top of this roof.
You mean you don't want to like do that old thing we used to do where
Well,
like insane?
I
Is-
used to do that, but for me personally, scramble jumping with
Tenho que encontrar a
spacebar is much worse, and I can't scramble jump anymore with.
We used to like jump out into like
But
over nothing and then land on a
I
little
used
ledge.
to jump with scroll up actually, but for the melee slide
Nunca devia ter duvidado de
glitch,
você.
we gotta have aim and scroll up.
Jonah.
Yeah, the melee slide glitch is something that's coming up later. I actually used it when I attempted that skip in the mines that neither of us got. I mean, Tau wasn't even going for it, but I didn't
Yeah.
get it.
I was smart.
I used it there. I didn't really mention it because there's melee slides coming up later where we can actually explain it properly.
Yeah. But basically, scramble jumping got worse for me, so I'm using different spreads now to get
Yeah.
over there.
That's interesting.
And right here, just load in the area and then go back and get into terrible fight. This fight is really terrible.
If you get the right like path and actions and stuff, it works out really great. But it can go wrong really, really easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, and since we don't have like pretty much any of the equip that the game expects us to have, especially no weapons that actually deal damage,
Yeah.
that fight is like that fight used to be like. I mean, there's a reason why it's called Terrible Fight.
Yeah, under that.
I used to have to just do it as intended for the most part. It took forever.
Well, one guy survived that shouldn't have survived there from the bomb, and I died because Lara dies in like a few shots here.
Also,
So
we
it's
actually actually found like a even faster way of doing that, fight that Tau is currently doing. But if you do that, the game actually crashes because you're going too fast. So
You got it.
we can't do that.
And right here, I'm looting those guys mainly to get cloth. Which
So
is used
yeah,
to
I
heal.
just got stuck in a very
yeah.
interesting position.
Oh, God damn
I'm
it.
gonna see if I can recover this. It's
You probably can.
I maybe can like
I've
if I
recovered a lot
if
in
I
the
fall
woods.
here, I'm just gonna die. Oh no, okay, I'm fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I landed in a spot that I recognize, but that
The
was
tree that shoots you up to the top.
I was not very well executed of me. That was totally my fault. Like I just didn't jump far enough. Also, right here you can kind of see why this part is terrible. Like the branches were completely obstructing my view.
Well done. That looked very scary.
Yeah, it was like for the longest time. I was actually contemplating like just reloading checkpoint right away to save on the time that I would inevitably lose by just trying to get something to work there, but failing. But I somehow managed to salvage that.
So I'm placing the climbing arrows like I wanted to go through here. And coming up is another out of bounds, which is done by AX climbing. And I actually have to go around. And it's hard to explain, really. Basically, the hard part about it is I have like a very thin layer of out of bounds I can be in. Otherwise, I'm gonna push myself through an invisible wall and go in bounds again.
Yeah, there's a misaligned invisible wall there, and there's a very small crack that you can just slip through to get out of bounds, but it's very tricky to pull off. You have to jump just right so you get through the crack without getting pushed back in bounds.
Now this skips more than the old one.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, this is a little bit faster.
I'm trying to think of the old route where you just clip through the gate.
That one skips like pretty much everything that is to that there is to that area.
Yeah.
Do you have time for a quick donation?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We have a $5 donation from Esimir saying, Cat Buzzard's working and can't donate, so I'm doing it for him. He says hi and good luck.
Hey, Kippers. Also, I paused buffered for the game to get ready and load in the area. And I jumped over there in order to like skip a short walkie-talkie scene, which makes Lara walk a little bit faster by me skipping it.
Preciso prosseguir com cuidado.
I love their voices.
Yeah, they're great.
Damn it. Yeah, I'm gonna reload checkpoint here. Like, that canister didn't kill everyone it was supposed to kill. And one of the guys that actually has armor survived, and those are way too tanky for me to kill normally. I would have died anyway, so reloading checkpoint there much quicker.
Yeah, there's a reason this fight is called Terrible Fight.
Alright, so we didn't have the grapple earlier, so we couldn't do certain things that the game thinks we can do with it.
Yeah, I actually just showed it by jumping that I didn't have to grapple X, and now I can jump and there
Now
I go,
he
I
has
have it.
Yeah. So
Magic.
you get it eventually.
Até o Jonah.
Just only needed it.
Yeah, that's really weird as well, because this game is very insistent on not giving you any of the equipment that you didn't pick up. Like, even when you reach a cutscene where Lara is supposed to hold a particular item, all of the time, every time we got to one of those cutscenes, the game just soft locks. Or it crashes, or something like that. Basically, you can't continue. But that particular cutscene, even though she doesn't even use the grapple in that cutscene, it just gives you the grapple for no apparent reason.
It knows we need to finish the speed run with it.
Yeah, exactly. It's just being nice.
Yeah.
For once.
So right now I'm attempting to get a melee slide, and I cancel it mid-air to jump here.
Oh, that's nice.
So, and yeah, actually we were like finding this huge sequence break, which is reverse archives, and we were like, yeah, okay, we can do this, everything works, but we lose the grapple axe, and we're like, how are we gonna do this? And actually the part I just went through was like usually skipped by another skip, which is not done in the run anymore, because of just getting the grapple axe. Also this clip is like really weird.
Yeah, the reason we found out that that cutscene gives you the grapple axe is because actually another runner who was just not comfortable doing the skip that we did at that time just did that, and he was like, I have the grapple axe like when I need it. I don't know what you're talking about. Dang.
Right here.
Oh,
And it also makes me not take any fall damage. Otherwise I would have died here.
I guess that beats running across more random buildings and stuff.
It's like 9 seconds faster. If I get it first try.
We have another, like, we have a different out of bounds there, and compared to that, it's 9 seconds faster. If you actually do it casually, it's, of course, way
Yeah.
faster than that.
Of course. Yeah, who needs fall damage?
Yeah, fall damage is myth.
Oh. But grappling onto this thing would be nice. Good job, Lara. Like Ballistic said, everything Lara solved. Not me.
Again, I love their voices. They sound so sweet.
I don't even know what this is. Like, I didn't really follow the story of this game that closely, but if they actually bothered to like do this voice acting properly, it's either Mongolian or Ancient Greek.
Yeah, I
couldn't
remember
tell
we
you
talked
which.
about it possibly being ancient Greek.
I couldn't tell you which though, because
no.
I don't know either of those.
All right, so the level Tau's on, I just want to say really quick that we used to run completely out of bounds, and you didn't see like much of this level at all, and it was pretty cool. But now the route that Tau's going to show you cuts through the level a little bit more and is faster, but it was still really cool just to be completely out of bounds and just running around for like 10 minutes.
Well, it wasn't 10 minutes, but yeah.
Well, it felt like 10 minutes.
The
It's
other
so
out of bounds,
funny.
it took like 3 minutes to actually complete. It was still way faster than doing it casually, but because it took 3 minutes, because you had to actually take a huge detour around the entire area, this skip that Tau is about to do is actually faster because we kind of go through the area and still manage to skip all of it.
You also get to like see some of the level now.
Yeah, just clip Lara through the gate, getting a checkpoint and reload the checkpoint, because I have to do that anyway. Otherwise, I would be constantly in fight with the Tribushi, making me not able to sit down at a campfire, which I need to load in the area. And this is the third.
Ooh, that was really low.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
This
damn.
is the third airwalk, a skywalk in the game. And I just died.
Dying at that spot is kind of... I mean, it's not nice, but it's
Not too bad.
it beats dying the other way that can potentially happen there, which especially beginners tend to have trouble with.
Yeah, it's like 10 seconds, more or less.
Yeah, so currently Tau is just maneuvering around most of the rest of this area out of bounds, but in order to get back in bounds, he actually has to go upwards through a death plane. And the way death planes work in this game is they only kill you if you're moving downwards. So as long as he's not moving down whilst going through the death plane, he's fine. But if he spaces his jumps wrong, he's actually just gonna drop dead.
Yeah. So right now I'm coming up to a part where I'm like jumping right next to a death plane constantly, and if I do wrong jump here, I'm gonna get into it.
Oh.
And it happened.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. It's pretty rough, and it loses you like 50 seconds if it happens.
I usually cut to the right and go around through the back of the gate, the older way. No death planes.
Yeah, there's an alternative way there
It's a really old way.
that we used to do,
Yeah.
but there's like kind of two reasons why we don't do that anymore. One, it's slower, so of course we dropped it just because of that. And it's also like, it was a clip that you had to do, and like occasionally it just was being very, very mean and didn't work at all.
Yeah.
So even though it didn't kill you, it could still lose you even more time than dying like twice to that
Yeah.
death plane.
The camera could freak out a lot.
A Câmara das Almas. A fonte divina tem que estar lá.
Alrighty, let's get it this time.
Parece que o
But
caminho pro
Leemyy
centro da
is at the
cidade é por
start of
aquele
that
portão.
level, so
They're catching up.
yeah, looks like we're gonna have a race at the end.
An actual race.
And there's still final
What
fight
is
coming
this?
up.
Os imortais estão patrulhando as ruas. Preciso ficar escondida.
Yay, you did it.
And I gotta sit down at this fire just to load the area properly in. And otherwise I wouldn't be able to grab any ledges. And just putting 2 arrows here is enough, you don't need that one.
Merda, eles estão atirando.
But yeah, that's the best skip ever coming up. Which is Vex Threats.
Houve danos estruturais aqui.
Basically just a
A batalha certa.
small parkour.
Mas a maior
I'm gonna explain it as I do it. Once I'm there.
Yeah, it's a very special out of bounds because it actually uses something that we don't really use anywhere else on the run.
houve
Yeah, so
danos
right here I'm gonna
estruturais
jump.
aqui. A
My
batalha
climbing axe, just
certamente
turn my camera, land on these boards,
Mas
jump
a maior
again.
parte
go over here, get to the sledge, scramble jump, get over here, scramble jump again, and climb up this wall.
Yeah. That skip is when I decided maybe it was quits for the controller. I couldn't replicate it.
Yeah, that skip is also incidentally impossible to do on console because scramble jumps, which is just when you scramble before you do a jump, that allows you to jump further than the developers intended, because for some reason, like, as long as Lara is in her scrambling, like, when you scramble off an edge, her Lara's scramble animation doesn't get cancelled immediately, and as long as she's in her scramble animation, the game will still allow you to jump. So you can jump further that way.
Also, I just spammed space there to land on this one rock, being mid-air while this boulder hits the wall, making Lara not fall.
Yeah, that's a very funny
Yeah, just
skip,
spam.
because you just spam space to do it. It's like super easy.
Also here is where like the great climbing physics come in of the game.
Oh yeah, the second is lovely.
This is the part that we were talking about at the beginning of the game, where if you're still holding like to the right and you want to go up and you let go like a second too late, she'll just jump to the right and jump to her death.
Also, I'm gonna attempt something where I'm gonna just drop down immediately when grabbing the sledge, making me not to have wait here and basically watch a cutscene play out, but be able to go on, which has the comedic side effects of these guys floating in midair.
Yeah, they're supposed to die in the cutscene, but when the cutscene doesn't play, they of course never die.
So this, the part that Tau's on, is the reason why we need the pistol. So even though we skip it, we gotta make sure we get it.
Yeah, this is one of the soft locks I was talking about earlier. If you don't have the pistol coming into that part, Lara will actually just hold an empty hand towards the guy, and you can't shoot him. You can't do anything. You can just watch Lara die over and over and over.
Yeah.
And there's literally nothing you can do. And in that case, not even the backup save system will help you, because the backup saves in this game are just, they work terrible.
In theory, we found a way to get past that guy without a pistol, but if you finish the game without a pistol, actually, what happens? It won't load the final cutscene and just locks you in place.
Yeah, the game just can't handle you not picking up the pistol.
Yeah, ending in like a infinite load screen. Just loading, there's nothing to load.
Oh, this part can be bad too. The guys can still shoot you off the ice.
Yeah, that's why you wanna, as long as you're mid-air, they can't shoot you off, you will still take damage. But if you're climbing on the wall and a bullet hits you, Lara will actually let go. So what we want to do is we want to climb that wall as quickly as possible, while simultaneously not like getting screwed by the game's weird climbing mechanics.
Also, every time I shoot a boulder above the chopper when hitting it, I'm gonna reload, just to make this fight like consistent.
Now, we're using exploding arrows for this part.
Yeah, something mention-worthy about explosive arrows is we actually skipped the part of the game where you're supposed to get explosive arrows, but conveniently, in that arena, there actually happen to be infinite pockets of explosive arrows lying around, and we just camp out near one of those and then just use those explosive arrows to kill all the enemies.
And I just abused threats found today. Basically, there's like 2 deaths left still alive, but if I'm far away enough from them, I just get the chopper scene and can continue on.
Yeah, the final fight is super weird. There's a bunch of weird stuff going on there. Occasionally, we even have entire waves of enemies just despawning and the next wave starting immediately, which is of course super quick when it happens, but it's also like we've never figured out how to actually do it consistently.
This is the job as being nice.
Yeah, he's not
What?
moving.
Are you like using hacks or something?
I guess I am.
He usually goes around and around. You got to keep moving.
Yeah, that helicopter's like he's
A bad
just
word.
yeah. Just fill in the blank. So something that Tau didn't mention earlier is right here you're actually not supposed to hit this thing this early. It's supposed to miss, and then the game just shows you a cutscene where it misses again, and the game can just kind of teaches you what you're supposed to do here. But you can still shoot that thing. But it's a bit harder to do than all the other ones because the game actually doesn't slow down time there because they're not supposed to hit it.
Also, this is new. We used to wait for the boulder to hit it,
Yeah.
but instead we shoot it with 5 explosive arrows.
Arrows can attack the helicopter, apparently.
Yeah. And it's down.
So yeah, you can see on my screen there was like 2 deathless still alive. They ran towards me, but the helicopter still came over because for some reason, like as long as there's only 2 or less deathless alive, the helicopter will just come. We don't really know why, but it's nice because it allows us a bit more leeway.
Oh, man.
Also, the helicopter is just being mean to me right now. This is what we were talking about earlier when we said that that it was being nice to Tau.
That guy made an ugly face at you, Tau.
I got him though. And now we fight the final boss, which is obviously named Bob.
So yeah, here the thing that we said earlier comes into play. We didn't pick up those explosive cans that you're usually supposed to have. And I think a lot of people don't realize this when they are fighting this boss, but you can actually throw one of the explosive cans at him and he instantly gets staggered, so you can attack him. But because we don't pick them up, instead what we have to do is we have to actually distract him.
Ooh, nice save.
Rip. He turned around, he was supposed to look away from me there.
He's crazy, don't worry about it.
He can actually see me through this rock. I have to lose him now.
Oh, whoa!
Well, rocks aren't real.
I'm getting railed by the helicopter right now. Luckily, I still have the leftover heal, so it shouldn't kill me. There's a small chance it still will, though. I mean, it is being mean right now. And I missed that shot. And I missed another shot. And I actually died. This helicopter has a very weird hitbox. Like, the back side of it just... You can't hit it for some reason. Also, I just missed that
Right
shot.
now he's just seeing me through the rock.
So, yeah, what I'll do instead right here is I'll just wait for the fireball to come. It actually, like, shooting it with explosive arrows, if you do it right, actually saves, like, 18 seconds, I think. If you do it optimally, of course. Because it takes a very long time for them to reload the trebuchet here.
What are you doing, Bob?
Oh, what are you gonna do?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think you're gonna have to try to hide behind another piece of wreckage. Or not.
Finally got him. This took way too long.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Alrighty.
I missed that explosive arrow. I'll just reload checkpoint here. We have like...
It's not over yet.
We have like predetermined orders to kill all these enemies. Because like these enemies, they always spawn in the same locations. And as long as you always kill the same enemies in the same order, all the enemies after them will also spawn in the same locations. It's very convenient for us because that way we can just figure out consistent ways to...
Hit it.
Oh. Oh. Okay, this guy is just being mean to me right now. So you can actually one-shot these guys, as I've done with the other one, by just luring them under one of those fires and then just shooting it. But he has to actually be under it for that to work.
Yeah.
And he was kind of being mean. So
Hopefully
now
Leemyy will get the perfect can spreads.
Yeah.
To show what is supposed to happen. Oh no.
okay, he's supposed to de-aggro me there, but sometimes he still sees you. It's weird.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't do it wrong there. It just didn't work for some reason. Like, you walk behind this pillar, and he just, for some reason, he doesn't know where you are, so you can just sneak up behind him like that.
He's easily
sneak up.
confused.
Yeah, he's very easily confused, but he actually got wall hacks as well. We had a very hard time figuring this out. And then I throw this can to distract him, and it didn't work. So right now I want to get far away from him, because that way he actually loses track of me, and then I can actually sneak up behind him.
Yeah, you did.
I didn't do it optimally, but I got the backup very well. So what that can that I threw was supposed to do, it's supposed to distract him, but if you're too close to him, he won't actually turn around. So you'll have to do what I just did instead. Also, this is a new strat that we just discovered in the practice. If you reload checkpoint right there, you save like 2 seconds, which is naturally totally worth it.
Absolutely.
And time. Awesome.
Yeah.
Who?
Não! Foi isso que a Trindade
Is that
trouxe.
my time showing right there, or is that...
E é isso que vão
1:10:55.
sempre
Oh yeah,
trazer.
that's my time.
Diz-
Well,
Pretty good.
I'm fine with that.